You know, it's hard to find the upside to ecological mega disaster. It's hard. It's hard to look at dead dolphins and dead birds and dead turtles and find the sunny side, the silver lining, the recipe for lemonade from all those pesky lemons. It's hard. But BP makes it possible.
Gently caressing the sea surface, the three vessels circled and swirled, guiding the boom without changing the design. A ballet at sea as mesmerizing as any performance in a concert hall and worthy of an audience in its own right.
Sick of all the Debbie Downers in the real media, BP has hired its own reporters to cover the BP oil disaster for the company's website. You may have noticed that we've been setting some of these press releases, reports, to music, the better to appreciate their full propagandistic glory. We've been calling it BP Press Release Theater. BP's so-called reporters really do write these press releases, almost word for word. We just add the music and pictures.
Out here, flying at a height of up to 1,400 feet, the clouds are puffy white and brilliantly lighted, but cast dark shadows on the wave-capped water below.
Ooh, I want to go there. I want to see the puffy white clouds. It's like BP's trying to make you glad the Deepwater Horizon is wrecking the Gulf of Mexico, because maybe you'll be lucky enough to ride around on a helicopter and see the wonderment. I actually use that word wonderment, their word, not mine. Wonderment. Last week, the New Orleans Times-Picayune looked into BP's bogus press and decided it wasn't so wondermenty. Quote, spill-weary Gulf residents are unlikely to find much in the disaster that inspires them or would count as a privilege. Here's the latest from BP reporter Paula Colmar. This one was filed on June 20th.
I wanted to understand why authorities repeatedly had warned the public not to handle injured birds, but instead instructed people to report the location of injured birds and leave it to specialists to rescue the animals. One look at a distressed, oiled pelican arriving at the center answered part of my question. The birds are dangerous and can be aggressive when under stress.
Note to BP reporter, you would be dangerous and aggressive too if someone had just smothered you with crude oil.
Understanding what an animal is going through, plucked out of the sticky oil and put into the world of man, gives workers the passion and staying power to get the seabirds ready for release as quickly and safely as possible. One bird rescued is one victory. Over the coming months, there will be many victories and some painful losses. Workers all along the Gulf Coast are using every ounce of their experience, skill, and compassion to assure far more victories.
You know, before BP Press Release Theater, I admit I was having a hard time keeping track of all the victories in the BP oil disaster, all the winning. The Fish and Wildlife Service reported today that of the not quite 2,000 birds collected in the Gulf so far, 1,150 were dead already. No one knows how many of the few who get cleaned will survive. But from BP's perspective, I'm sure there's a Beyond Petroleum good news story in there somewhere. Somewhere, you just under the brown toxic goo that's smothering everything it touches. There's a good story in there somewhere.